Hey everyone, Dan and Leslie back again with another Disney video. This time we're starting a new series looking at, is it worth it? We are going to examine the various costs and splurges associated with Disney vacations to start out with, and then maybe go on to other types of vacations. But today we're looking at one of the most extravagant, expensive splurges you can do, and that is a VIP tour at Walt Disney World.
So what is a VIP tour? Basically, it is a personalized, privately guided tour that includes transportation between the parks, and it gives you premium access to rides. It gives you some other cool benefits along with it. Guided tour throughout the day at the Disney parks.
Okay, so we have done 2 VIP tours in our time here going to Disney World. Again, these are really, really expensive options, so it's not something that we can do every day, but we've had the pleasure of doing 2. And we're gonna talk about those experiences and kind of weave them into everything that goes into a VIP tour, including the cost, which is where we will start.
All right, so this is going to have a 7-hour minimum. So you cannot do any less than 7 hours whenever you're doing a private VIP tour. You can add up to 3 additional hours to make it a 10-hour day. And the cost ranges from $450 to $900 per hour, depending on the date of the year that you are going. So it is demand based, and so obviously more popular times, holidays and whatnot, are going to be the higher price ticket, whereas the less popular times will be the lower price ticket.
And that gets you this 7-hour base tour for you and your party. So what is the party makeup? It gets you up to 10 people. That means people. If they are alive, they are a person. We get asked a lot, like, do infants count? Yes, infants count. And don't ask me why, because they're not riding the rides, but they are taking up a spot on that VIP tour. So yes, infants count. We've had people reach out that wanted to do like a group of 10 plus an infant. Sorry, you can't do that. It is a maximum of 10. I think it probably has to do more with the transportation options, because you do get a private van that you can go backstage access to rides and other parks. So it's probably laws around that, and they just don't have the ability to separate, individualize things like that. But whatever the case, 10 people. So this could be a very expensive tour per person if you only have 1 or 2 people, or it could be a little bit more reasonable if you can fill this thing up with 10 people. One important thing to note with VIP tours at Walt Disney World is that this cost does not include park admission. So when you're thinking about this and seeing if it is worth it for you and your family, just know you have to add park tickets on top of it. And oh, by the way, if you are planning on having that VIP tour guide take you to multiple parks, because that's one of the best benefits, is you get backstage to backstage access. So you walk right in. Once you've been through security first, then that really makes it really worth it. So you're not having to play the minivan game or go with buses or anything, but you also have to add on park hoppers on the tickets if you're gonna do that as well.
Yes, and there is the possibility of having more than 10. However, it's going to require more than 1 guide. So that doubles the cost of, it is gonna be like a whole other $450 to $900 cost.
Right, so if you have 11 people, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, you'd wanna get another 9 to make it 2 groups of 10 if you're gonna get a whole, because you're gonna have to pay that same minimum cost regardless.
Reservations can be canceled up until 3 days prior to your tour, and the card that you put on file with them is charged the day prior to the tour. If you are contemplating a VIP tour, then it's better to go ahead and book it in advance and then cancel it later if you decide that it's not gonna work out for you. These reservations can be made 60 days in advance of your check-in date at your hotel, at your resort, at your Disney resort, or 60 days prior to the day of the tour if you are staying off-site.
And if you do happen to forget to cancel and you are within that 3-day window, there is a 2-hour penalty. So they would charge you for 2 of the 7 hours if you cancel within that 3-day lead time before your tour starts. Okay, let's talk about what these tours actually include. So let's get to the meat of it. So the biggest thing, the most obvious thing, is attraction access. This is what the vast majority of Disney World guests that are using VIP tours, paying for VIP tours, are using it for. It's to get, I'm gonna put these in air quotes, front of the line access. I'm gonna put them in air quotes because you're usually not getting front of the line access. This is different than VIP tours over at Universal. And I know this is not a Universal episode, but not all VIP tours are the same. With Universal, you do get front of the line access. They walk you straight to the front of the line. With Disney World, the majority of these really popular attractions, they're just getting you, it's basically an unlimited lightning lane. So they're just getting you into the lightning lane. So you're still gonna have to wait in line, just in a much shorter line. Now the benefit is you don't have to buy lightning lanes on top of the VIP tours. You don't have to schedule the lightning lanes with hour-long windows if you're going the multi-pass or the lightning lane single pass. It's similar to the Premier Pass, but we'll talk about that at the end.
Another great benefit to a VIP tour is that you can ride the attractions more than once. So if your family is in love with Tiana's Bayou Adventure, for instance, and you want to ride that thing 4 times in a row, then more power to you. You can also meet characters a little bit more quickly. They will often be able to figure out like right when the character is going to come out, or get you kind of more of front of the line for those character meet and greets.
Some of the lesser known things that I particularly love, number one, there is a special reserved section for VIP guests for Happily Ever After, the fireworks show, spectacular in Magic Kingdom every single night, minus party nights. But it is a special reserve section in the Hubgrass, which is fantastic. Now, it doesn't make a lot of sense to use all of that time waiting a few minutes before and then during the show of Happily Ever After while your VIP tour guide is standing there. So what we like to do, we'll touch on this again later, is schedule our VIP tour to end when they just drop us off in that Hubgrass. They just get us in, and then that's the end of the tour, and then we can enjoy Happily Ever After. We've done that both times. It's been fantastic. Also, you do get pretty much unlimited snack options on your tour. So your VIP tour guide can go get snacks like Mickey pretzels or Mickey ice cream bars, that kind of thing, popcorn. And then you get like waters and beverages. So we got waters on our last VIP tour. I mean, several times, like bottles of water. She'd go grab a bunch of water when we got on an attraction, have them ready for us once we got off the attraction. So that's pretty nice as well.
Yeah, and both of those things, the Hubgrass, the space for the VIP area for Happily Ever After, and the snacks and drinks are all kind of dependent on space availability and your tour guide. So keep in mind that your mileage may vary a little bit on how much you're getting with all of that.
Another one of my favorite benefits is that transportation that I mentioned earlier. That is one of the best benefits here because yes, you do have to go through security at least once at the beginning of the day. So that's why we have started our VIP tours, the times that we have done them, inside the park. So we don't want to waste any time going through security. They're not able to just bypass bag check just because you paid for a VIP tour. So you do have to go through security. Then we met our VIP tour guide. But from that point on, when you are ready, you can leave the park by going backstage with your VIP tour guide, getting in a private 15-passenger van. The VIP tour guide drives you to the next park you're going to, again, backstage, so you don't have to go through the touch points. Now, they will scan your park tickets on like an iPad that they have just to make sure you have the park hopper access at least once. And then you can go bypass, going backstage, you bypass security. So you don't have to do the bag check, you don't have to do any of that, which is really, really nice. And you get way closer to the attractions that you're actually wanting to go to. Can you imagine going to Magic Kingdom and not being able to go backstage in that 15-passenger van? It would take forever.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That is probably one of the best parts about it, is the quick access between the parks. Another really cool thing is that you're getting inside information from an amazing cast member. So they will often like point out things along the way as you go, just hidden details about the different parks and things that they know and that they've learned over the years, or maybe things that they've experienced because many of these VIP tour guides have been there for a very long time. Other things that they can do are like hold bags while you're on rides, help push the stroller if you have a little one. They also will like help be able to direct you to the nearest bathroom, or if somebody's really hungry or whatever you might need right then, they're gonna know exactly where to find that. Finally, they will be able to take pictures of your party. So you will have the ability to have pictures of your entire party, in front of iconic pieces of all the parks.
The last thing I love, and this does not make it worth it by any stretch of the imagination, but it is kind of fun, is just the pin that you get. So you get the special commemorative VIP tour pin. Again, we've been twice. We've had we have two different kinds of VIP tour pins, and these are nice big pins. They're very, very nice, and not something that you can just go buy if you want one.
All right, well, if you are looking to plan a VIP tour or any type of vacation, please reach out to us over at Fantastical Vacations. We plan Disney destinations, Universal, cruise lines, and all-inclusive resorts.
You have to be a little bit cautious if you're considering a VIP tour. There are things that you don't want to do on a VIP tour. Number one is to try and cram in too many parks. So, you know, we've thought about going to all 4 parks in a VIP tour guide, but there's like a break-even point there, because if you have them for 7 hours, like even with the expedited transportation backstage to backstage, that's still probably a half hour going backstage, getting in a van, driving to the other parks, getting set, getting scanned in on their iPad, and going into the park. Like, it still takes time out of your 7 hours. So I'd say max is probably 3 parks in a day. So if you do want to do all 4 parks, what we've done in the past is schedule our meetup guide with our VIP tour a little bit later, like early afternoon, especially if you're going to end up at Happily Ever After for that private fireworks viewing section, and then like go do a park before that. So maybe start at Animal Kingdom and then save the other 3 parks for the VIP tour. The second thing that you don't want to do is jump on attractions or request attractions with your VIP tour guide, because they'll do whatever you want. 4 attractions that can break down with you in the middle of them or have really, really long attraction times. I'm looking at you, Kilimanjaro Safaris, because that ride alone will take quite a bit of time if nothing goes wrong, but it is not unheard of to have a giraffe jam in the middle of the savannah, and those drivers will not budge. If a giraffe is in the middle of the road, it's happened to us. We've had a giraffe put its head inside of our vehicle and he could not go anywhere. That driver was stuck for at least 5 minutes. So just understand, it doesn't have to be your vehicle. It could be any vehicle in the number of vehicles ahead of you, and you may be wasting what you thought was a 15-minute just get on, get off pretty quick. It turns out to be a 45-minute thing, and that's 45 minutes out of 7 hours right there.
Yes, absolutely. Is it worth it? That's the big question here, and we're going to talk through the pros and cons. So first pro is that they really maximize efficiency with these VIP tours. They know how to navigate these parks the best way. They also know kind of when to go to certain attractions. They have the inside knowledge right there on their phones that they're getting that's saying, you know, Rise of the Resistance is down, or you know, something has happened over at this attraction, so you might want to wait. They can
usually call somebody and figure out why the attraction is down, so you're not just standing there wondering. Like, we had Guardians go down when we first walked in, and it was because of a pet accident ahead in the queue, and we were able to leave, go eat lunch, and then come right back once that was cleaned up, and it was fabulous.
Yeah. Another big pro is that you get to decide what to do. So you are basically dictating your day. You're saying, these are my priority rides. These are the extra things that if we have time that I'd like to do. Really, like, this is the main goal of the day, and they will make it happen for you, which is amazing. Which leads me to my last pro, which is a stress-free experience. You really, truly get to go into the parks and enjoy every bit of it without having to think through, like, when's my next lightning lane? When do I need to get on the phone to schedule my next lightning lane? How am I gonna get from this park to this park, and all of that?
Let's talk cons, because you know there's cons, and the biggest one is the cost. We already talked about $450 to $900 an hour, which is significant. But it doesn't even include, we already talked about the tickets, it doesn't include the gratuity. So you need to tip your VIP guide for their service during this 7 to 10 hour VIP tour, and that's not inexpensive either, so keep that in mind. Next up, it can feel very rushed on these VIP tours, and that's really on you, the guest who is paying for the VIP tour. If you want to take your time, they absolutely will. Most people do not. Most people want to cram in as much as they possibly can in 7 hours and get their money's worth.
Because you're paying a lot.
And if you do that, you're definitely gonna feel like you are hoofing it to every single attraction all over Disney World for 7 full hours. It's going to be tiring. Next con is that they can be pretty limited, especially if you want to go on like Christmas Day or an opening day of an attraction or something like that. Like, they are going to be hard to get, so make sure you're booking right at the 60 days prior. And then another con is that it doesn't include some of the things that other VIP tours do in the area. I mentioned Universal earlier. Universal includes meals in their VIP tour. Universal also includes front of the line access in their tour. So I would argue that Disney's VIP tours, while amazing, they're not as good as Universal VIP tours when you just compare inclusions with other inclusions. And then finally, no one, not even your VIP tour guide, can get around Florida weather or maintenance failures. And it's not that the cast members have done anything wrong, rides just break down. There is unexpected maintenance and repairs that happen, and your VIP tours can't fix that, and you're not gonna get a refund because the one ride that you wanted to ride with this VIP tour was broken down on the day that you got to go, or it rained during the time and it shut down and you couldn't get on it.
So who is a VIP tour for? It can be for a lot of people. One, I would say if you have limited time on your trip. So maybe you're only here for 1 or 2 days and you really want to maximize those couple of days, then a VIP tour is definitely the way to do it. Also, if you have a larger group, a larger family of 10 or less, then it might make more sense to get that VIP tour so you're not having to struggle with lightning lanes and everybody getting the same time and whatnot. Another great situation would be groups that can split the cost. This is nice because if you have a group of 10 people, say that's 5 couples, it sure makes that price a whole lot easier to swallow for a day of luxury whenever you are splitting the cost. And then finally, if you are just someone that wants that stress-free experience, then this is definitely the way to go.
Stress-free is not the same as slow pace. So let's talk about who this is not for. If you want a relaxed, slow-paced experience where you just get to meander through the parks, this is not for you. Stress-free means you don't have to plan it all. You don't have to be in your phone scheduling lightning lanes all day long. You can just go to whatever ride as many times as you want, whenever you want. That's great. But if you want something, if you want an experience in these parks that is more relaxed and low-key, probably not a VIP tour for you, or you're really not gonna get your money's worth. Speaking of money, this is not for individuals on strict budgets. We've already talked about the cost multiple times, so I'm not gonna hammer it, but not for strict budgets. And also, lastly, not for small groups. So at $900 an hour times 7 hours, that's $6,300 for a VIP tour, plus gratuity, plus park hopper tickets, plus, right? So it is not for small groups because if you have 2 people, $6,300 divided by 2, that is what, $3,150? But if you have 10 people, $6,300 divided by 10 is $630, makes the cost per person a lot more manageable. So if you have smaller groups, probably wouldn't do a VIP tour if you are looking for from this at a cost perspective, and is it truly worth the money?
Let's talk a little cost breakdown. And math is not my strong suit here. So here we go. So if you do a VIP tour, that's gonna run you anywhere from $3,150 to $6,300 total for your group, depending on what day of the year it is.
And if you compare that to the closest alternative to VIP tours at Disney World right now, that is the Premier Pass for lightning lanes. So there are some drawbacks for the Premier Pass, but it is cheaper. So a Premier Pass currently ranges, again, variable pricing, thanks Disney, ranges from somewhere in the $129 per person range to $449 per person plus tax range. So $449, that's about half the cost, right, of a VIP tour per hour. But if you kind of multiply that out, it does make more cost sense, especially if you don't have 10 full people when you compare it to the full cost of a VIP tour. The problems are with Premier Pass, it's only one park, so you don't get it in multiple parks if you're planning to park hop. They don't have the included snacks and waters, which is just kind of a nice to have, but it is nice when you're going for 7 hours nonstop. You don't have that private transportation, the 15 passenger buses. So if you're looking for really the most efficient way to get from park to park and park hop, and then really the big one for me is that even still, it's just for one park, it's only for one attraction each person, right? So you can't ride rides multiple times. So when you do Tron, once in the lightning lane. When you do Tiana's, once in the lightning lane. Whereas if you really wanted to use your time this way, we haven't because we just want to try as many different rides as we can, but you can ride rides over and over if that's your thing. If
you have decided that a VIP tour is definitely for you, here are a few tips to maximize your VIP day. 1, come in with a plan. Don't just, spend time that you've paid really good money for trying to figure out what to do next. Another way to maximize your day is to use your tour guide for the attractions that have the longest wait. So it wouldn't make sense to use your tour guide to get you on, say, like, I don't know, Hall of Presidents or something for a show.
And then my big one, I've said it before, but I'll say it again, use that space to end your VIP tour guide in that reserve section of the hubgrass to get a fantastic view of Happily Ever After. That's just the best way to extend your VIP tour day, because if you use 7 hours and you end your 7 hours right when they drop you off at that reserve section, you get the next little bit. And bonus, the last time we did that, our VIP tour brought us Mickey bars. Like they dropped us off in the hubgrass and they came and they gave us Mickey bars, and then
That
they
was so
left.
great.
And then we watched Happily Ever After with Mickey bars. So that's a great tip. Yeah.
Perfect end. All right, well, if you are liking these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.
And we will see you on the next video.